It's morphin' time. To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily.
It's actually just football, man.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, just football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Let's go!
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Abby.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. There's a little hiccup there at the beginning, so not sure if you heard me, but I'll say it one more time. T'Vondre Sweat, welcome back. We've got great news on T'Vondre Sweat. We'll get into that here on the show. The article in the YouTube description down below also has the details. Welcome here on a beautiful Sunday, August 16th. We've called an audible at the line of scrimmage. Can. And we switched the depth chart. That can happen in the preseason. And we're doing it right now, baby. Let's put him in the starting lineup. He normally is on Saturdays. We'll take him on a Sunday. It's Hop on Pop, baby.
Hey now, good morning, Coffee Club.
Let's freaking go. This is excellent. And look who's back, Pop. You know, let me say this right off the top rope. Everything happens in life for a reason. I truly believe that. And, you know, and I'll get to something later in the show about that, actually. And I see in our audience, Monkey Business 384 has just hopped on the train. They have joined the membership level, which is tremendous. And I love to see that. By the way, that is officially a Boy Green Coffee Club member for Monkey Business. 6384. So first off, right off the top rope, obviously I gotta. And the monkey, you may say, who the hell is Monkey Business 6384? Well, Monkey Business 6384, I'm going to have to get used to saying that 1,000 times. Monkey Business, as he announced himself in the chat, is Cam631 Laser, who's a former sponsor of this show. And he made all the custom laser engraving on everything with the show. And yeah, maybe Pop's about to show us something right now, huh? A commemorative coin. That's exactly it, right? We still have a bunch of them that we, feature in our giveaways. And, we were sponsored with Cam, but he had some personal health things. And so we just sort of went apart or separate ways, like anything in life. And I was looking at the card because in every package I send out, it has the card for Cam about, being a part of the business. And he was a sponsor for the show. I said, I haven't heard from him forever. Let me just email him out of the blue and see. And I didn't get an email for a few days. I'm like, oh, well. Such is life, I guess. Too busy going on. And he got back to me and said, oh, my God, it's great to hear from you. I had all these things going in my life. I want to tune back into the show. Like, this is great. I want to get back into the show. And booyah, Monkey Business Cam is back here on the show. So, Cam, it was great catching up with you. Great talking with you, a fellow Jet fan. So, the universe is pretty cool when things like that can happen, Pop.
Yeah, and is it weird that you and I talked about him yesterday? Is that
That's
weird?
True. We did.
Not because you initiated it, because you had already done your email. I initiated it, and we'll talk about why I initiated it a little later. But that's cosmic, if you will, that I brought him up and his products up just yesterday when we were talking.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Like I said, life works in mysterious ways, and that will be the case a little bit later in the show. A nice little tease there. I see some memberships are being gifted. Then we'll get into T'Vondre Sweat's big booty being back with the New York Jets. We'll start off with our number one Austrian Jets fan. Make sure you guys raise those ones up wherever you are and acknowledge him. And before you read whoever that member was, Pop, let's get the other one here. It's one of your favorites. Again, I just can't quite get the dialect down on this one. MFC or
motherfucking Jew.
Let's go. Who are the two new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club out there in the audience, Pop?
All right, for the number one Austrian Jets fan, aka member of the Boy Green Mount Rushmore,
That's true.
Jan Lackner. Jan Lackner.
Excellent.
And then motherfucking it's Ronald Perry, 279. Ronald Perry, 279.
Nice. MFC 11 raffle tickets, number one Austrian Jets fan 74 raffle tickets. There you go. And obviously, Monkey Business, aka Cam 631 Laser, you are in as well for our raffle. So appreciate you there in the audience. And thank you guys. Keep all the love coming here on the program. We'll get more into some of your memberships and super chats and other conversations a little bit later. But Pop, this is massive news for the New York Jets, literally and figuratively. T'Vondre Sweat, 6'4", 366 pounds of man. And out of nowhere, seemingly, the Jets are activating him off the NFI list. That is the non-football injury or illness list. You're only placed on that list basically if you get hurt on your own accord at home or somewhere else away from the facilities. And T'Vondre Sweat is back. They've activated him off the list. I'll be honest, I was listening to Jets Collective podcast just before the preseason game, and Rich was asked about T'Vondre Sweat, like, yo, what's the latest on him? And he gave a very grim update, like, oh, boy, and I don't know when we're going to see this guy. And I'm like, oh, man, this is terrible news. What the hell? And then out of nowhere, I'm at the radio station helping out with a thing or two, and I see the news, and I'm like, you yahoo! This is great. So initial reaction, Pop, a little Brutus beefcake brought back to that defensive line, huh?
Yes, I'm not as excited for this as the average person, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, boy.
Before Mr. Sweat, and by the way, he doesn't do a lot of that. Before Mr. Sweat, launched himself out of his recliner and pulled his hamstring on his way to the refrigerator to make a sandwich. He was the second largest defensive lineman in the NFL, the second largest before that was his weigh-in, before he stopped working out because his mangina hurt. So I expect without a shadow of a doubt, he's the butter bean. If for those old schoolers out there, he's the butter bean of defensive linemen now. And, he's got to be 380 or 3.
Whoa.
Or
he's
more.
Listed at 366, sir.
Yeah, 366. Yeah, put his other foot on the scale. You shit me.
I knew you were going to say that. That's messed up, man. That's messed up. Now,
don't get me wrong. 400 pounds can block up the middle. I mean, just by laying down. But, this is exactly the reason we got him for nothing.
Whoa, nothing. The disrespect to Jermaine Johnson is a little much, sir. A little much. He's a Pro Bowl pass rusher.
Right. We didn't value Jermaine Johnson, obviously. And then
clearly,
we got Devontae doesn't sweat. It's
T'Vondre.
It's all the same. So I'm concerned about his conditioning without the 3 weeks of training camp, and he probably needed it more than anyone else. Right now, like if there was any like high impact time of training camp, like that ship has sailed, and the conditioning that he sorely needed is over. So I'm worried that this will put him behind the 8 ball. This is Hassan Reddick 2.0 is what I'm worried about.
Oh, he's got a month to get ready here. Now, hopefully that's enough because there's 2 layers to this.
Year to get ready. He's been in training for years. In his regime, his workout effort, his intensity, his script has landed him where he is today. And so when he was hurt, he was doing better.
As a former football player, you know this to be true. There is football shape and there is just in shape, And by the way,
fuck out of shape.
By the way, a circle is a shape. So maybe he's already there. But the fact of the matter is they got to get him prepared. And I was starting to get nervous. I won't lie. As we're just progressing, because again, so he gets hurt with his hamstring somewhere between the end of mandatory minicamp and training camp. He gets injured somewhere in there. That's why he gets placed on the NFI list. So he has not practiced. He's been out on the field in nothing, like a jersey and shorts, but that's it. So he hasn't been practicing. Yeah,
very large sweatpants.
Yeah, yes. I don't know what size that'd be. I didn't read the tag when I saw him at training camp last week, but yes, whatever
I
that
guess
is.
every pair of pants he wears are sweatpants or sweats pants.
That would also be true. Dad jokes are also. If I had a drum, doo doo da, I would play that. We actually don't have that one on the soundboard. I should add that just for you. But T'Vondre Sweat, look at the numbers. He was last season with the Tennessee Titans. He was top 5 in 2 major categories of note.
Wait.
Overall, in terms of defensive line rankings among 134 qualifying defensive linemen, he was top 5. And run defense, he was top 5. Those are 2 things we need. And even if he snorlax for the Pokemon fans out in the audience and he falls asleep and just lays on the road, you have to, geez, I got to drive around this thing. Or you have to try to drive through it. Both of those are good. Both of those are good. The Jets had the
news.
Rush defense in the NFL last season. T'Vondre Sweat will help. David Onyemata will help. But specifically, Sweat will help. He's the biggest player on the Jets roster by far. So they need this guy as the centerpiece, the nose tackle of their 3-4 defense. And now he has a month to get ready because I, of course, want to see him all season. But specifically, he is going to be more motivated than ever to play his old team that gave up on him. And in the same way that you say the Jets sort of waved the white flag on Jermaine Johnson, and so be it, the Titans did that to him. He was a top 40 pick 2 years ago. So they're waving the white flag on him just as much as we are on Jermaine. So both sides should be intrinsically motivated to prove the other team was wrong and that you shouldn't have given up on me.
Yeah, real quick. Somebody asked how much did William the Refrigerator Perry weigh when he played?
Yeah.
370, the exact same weight as Mr. Sweat. Anyway,
that's not the exact same weight, by the way. T'Vondre Sweat, 4 pounds lighter, 366.
If I gave the listed weight that he weighed in William Perry, it's 335, just for the record. To go to your point of weight and official weights, I was using the real weight.
Also, football was different back then, so weights aren't the same as they are now.
You know, you say a lot of stupid things, but that's right up there near the top.
Okay.
But the good news is, if he stops up the run, the other teams definitely have 2, powder puffs at the ends who can't stop or run. So, anyways,
Pop, I just
talk more about that later.
I just want you to show a little bit more reverence here for T'Vondre Sweat. That's all I'm saying. I think this is really big news. Again, all the pun intended of him coming in. I think the Jets should be giddy. Last week, Joseph Asai was activated off the PUP list. He did not practice all of last week, but he's expected to potentially start practice this week. T'Vondre is back, but Rich Samiti reported that it's going to be a slow progression, so it's probably a week of the conditioning or whatever to get him in shape so he can be in practice or what have you. So and D'Angelo Pons is close, whatever that means from Aaron Glenn. So all of a sudden the health factor, normally the deeper you get in training camp, the more hurt and injured and banged up you are. It seems like the opposite is happening here for the Jets. They're getting healthier at the right time before the season. We're a month away, less than a month away, as a matter of fact, from week 1, Jets at the Tennessee Titans. I think this is tremendous news. I'm not a doctor, but this is tremendous news to get these kind of positive injury updates.
Yeah, it absolutely. All these injury updates are good. There's still a long road to hoe between now and the first game of the season. I will tell you, my only thing about Mr. Sweat is this.
Okay.
The concerns we had when we drafted him yielded themselves by him non-football related injury. And
we didn't draft him.
Yes, when we traded for him, the concern, the reason he was so cheap is this reason we're talking about. That's all I have. That's all I'm talking about.
But why? So, I don't understand the disrespect. We're saying like it was cheap and it was like, look, we got him for like a bag of beans. Like Jermaine Johnson was a former first-round pass rusher who went to the Pro Bowl. Like, I don't think we gave up some insignificant cost. Clearly, the Jets didn't value the Jets, with that, saying it without saying it. The Jets inside their building said, we're not going to re-sign this guy. He's good. Other teams may think he's good, but we ourselves are like, we don't think he's a long-term piece. What do we do now? And they ultimately traded to Tennessee. I don't think that means that Jermaine was like the value of acquiring T'Vondre was nothing. Like, I think Jermaine Johnson, young-ish, he's 26-ish, 26, 27, something like that, still has a lot of years left tread on the tires, still on his rookie contract. I don't think it. I don't. Maybe me and you are just interpreting the value differently. I don't think that this is just some nothing burger in terms of trade value, the trade swap. I think it's unique. We don't get a lot of player for players. That makes it difficult to ascertain, as opposed to we traded Jermaine for a third. Third. That's just this. Oh, a fourth. It's this. That's like a tangible thing we could get. It's up to interpretation now, because if we're just going by draft status, Jermaine was a 26th overall pick. T'Vondre Sweat was a 38th overall pick. Inconsequential, perhaps, to some or to others. He was an early second-round pick versus a late first-round pick.
Yeah, I think we got the short end of the stick on the trade, personally.
Interesting. Wow. Okay. With how you've been talking about Jermaine, I figured not.
No, absolutely not. I wish we'd kept Jermaine, frankly. But I definitely think we got, a player. We lost a player with a lot of potential talent, and we got someone with questionable motivation, although it fills a need we have by the position he plays.
Fills a need. I see what you did there. Nice with the fat guy. All right, let's get to a super chat here. Whoa, Mamacita. Let me make sure. Well, Pop, do you want to attempt to pronounce his name? Is it Pieper? Pieper Lutmer, 2027 Jets?
That sounds good.
Okay, sure. $20 super chat here on the program. Every time we get a super chat, we hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna. Wow. Oh, this is a good debate conversation to have. Here we go. Pieper Lutmer, 2027 Jets. Thank you. You have 6 raffle tickets, by the way, to the contest. You're $1 away from another one at any point throughout the rest of August. One more 3-14 season would accomplish what this organization truly needs. A franchise quarterback and a competent head coach. A 6 or 7 season is fool's gold. Go for the gusto. P.S. Please send my entries to NC Green. Have a nice day. Oh, I didn't notice that till just now. That's beautiful. Thank you very much for doing that. I'll adjust that accordingly on the board in a moment. I've heard people. So, Pieper, I hear what you're saying. There's a few other people that have had this sort of take of like, Jets, I know you've missed the playoffs for 15 straight years, but the next year's draft is the ultimate draft. Dive on the sword. Have another shitty season, and it's all going to work out. I've been promised this for far too long, Pieper, and maybe I would agree with you if the Jets' only first-round pick was their own. That would be the purgatory of winning 6 or 7 games and falling out of it, not having the requisite ammunition to move up to go get your guy. If the Jets only had their first-round pick, I think you would have a very strong case. But, of course, they don't only have their first-round pick. They have 3 first-round picks. They have the Colts, who I think are going to be terrible. We'll see what happens there. And then the Muji masterclass negotiation of all negotiations. They get the better of the Packers or Cowboys pick, whichever team ends up being worse. Now, both teams are expected to be good, but that's why they play the football game, Susan. All kinds of things happen. So I love that they negotiated that. And who knows? And I'm not rooting for injury, but if Jordan Love slips down the stairs tomorrow, my perception of what the Packers are going to be is totally different. So this is why I push back against this narrative. The Jets can have their cake and eat it too. There is a world where the Jets can go, I don't know, I'm making it 9-8. And so maybe that's playoffs, maybe that's not, depends on the year, but that's a competitive season. It looks great. And the Colts implode and suck, and they give you your top 5 pick. You have your cake and eat it too. You can be competitive for the first time in a long time, and you have potential to get your franchise quarterback. Both of those things can happen. So respectfully, with all due respect, I push against this. I don't think that is what this has to happen. And plus, as we just saw last year, quarterback drafts are not always what they're meant cracked up to be. God, I hope this is true. And I'm a Notre Dame guy. CJ K. By the way, pay attention to our YouTube videos. Trevor Sikkema, our draft analyst, Pop, joined us this week. And at the end of the interview, I squeezed in a quick CJ Carr question about perhaps he's the quarterback train to watch as we head into the college football season. So, guys, look out for that video coming out this week. But, yeah, Pop, I don't know how you feel about this, but I don't think we need the ritual animal sacrifice to the football gods of one more 3-14 season. I think that's the rationalization. If you're a Jets fan and things go completely, the bottom falls out, you can say to yourself, all right, well, at least it's a great quarterback class in theory, but I'm not rooting for that heading into the season. I'm not.
Yeah, I think you're right. With 3 draft picks, they don't have to do it. I mean, I will just share with you, I was reflecting yesterday watching some football that our Mr. Tank from last season, and Sean McVay appeared to have been right. And the Jets, instead of getting someone with a sports hernia, they might have done some shifting and shafting and gotten ourselves Ty Simpson, who looked like Superman.
Yeah. Sure. Well, the preseason is always the ultimate test if someone's a franchise quarterback or not. So sure. Yeah. Ty Simpson. He's the man. Yeah.
Yeah. Let Brady cook. Let Tim Boyle. Yeah. The Jets have a lot of knowledge in this area of evaluation of quarterbacks. Zach Wilson. Although Zach Wilson looked phenomenal yesterday, by the way.
Did. He did. He looked good. Good for him. Awesome. And you know what? How much better can you get? You're playing in a dome. You've got Kellen Moore, who you're intimately familiar with, an offensive wizard. They've got a lot of skill talent over there. So rebuild yourself, Zach Wilson. Rebuild yourself and see what you can do. Hell, it worked out for Sam Darnold. Maybe it'll work out for you. So, yeah, again, I would just respectfully push back against this.
Zach
What's that?
Fit.
Yeah, that is, again, I told the story in 2023, we, aka you paid for the tickets well far in advance. We didn't decide to go to Jets Cowboys week. Wait, Zach Wilson starting? Oh, we need to go. Like any fan, we scheduled that game far in advance. And I anticipated fully Aaron Rodgers and the Jets going to Dallas. That unfortunately never happened. And so I pulled out the Zach Wilson is good shirt, and I can't remember how many people stopped us went, oh, this is great. Hey, honey, get a picture of me and this guy. I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay. And then walking further, that's awesome. Can I get a picture? And I don't think it was because I was Boy Green.
No,
I don't believe is a contributing factor in that one, but respectfully, Pieper, and I will give these tickets to NC Green. Yeah, I don't think it's fool's gold. Let's see if, and again, I think it's Bob Wischusen was on the Jake Asman show on ESPN New York, and he said this. Like, we've all debated, Pop, how many wins does Aaron Glenn need to get to save his job? Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 6? What's a number? Like, if he gets at least this, he's safe. And Bob Wischusen, the voice of the Jets, the radio voice of the Jets, goes, like, that's sort of silly. Like, if it's 6, he's totally out, but 7, he's totally safe. Like, that doesn't make any sense. He says to him, it's the eye test. Are the young players developing? Did Mason Taylor take a leap? Did this guy take a leap? Did they also win games? So it's like a conjunction of things. And I think that makes sense. You know, we've all been sort of beating this win total, which to me, I've said that if he gets 7 wins or more, he's totally safe. If he gets 6, it's up in the air. But after hearing what Bob Wischusen said, I can see his take too.
Yeah, I would tell you there is one determining factor, and it's not wins or losses, because a lot of things can happen.
All right.
I will tell you, because I expect, and I've said it before, I've heard other people on your show, but I believe I said it first, that the Jets are going to have a top 10 to 15 offense. I've been saying that for quite a while.
Yes.
Quite a while. I would tell you that obviously this could correlate to wins and losses, but if that defense is anywhere near as bad as it is last year, I think Aaron Glenn could be fired mid-year. You give him this free pass bullshit about, well, he didn't want to step in because he stepped in, he looked bad. Right? That's all horse shit. He was hired for being a defensive genius, and they had one of the historically most inept defenses in the history of the NFL. It's embarrassing. And he probably shouldn't be their head coach today. But if that defense stinks a house out like they ended the last 5-pack of the season last year, gone. And of course, wins and loss would follow that, obviously. And I don't think, even a top 10 offense would be. Look at the Cowboys. They had number 1 offense. They gave up 511 points last year, the most in the NFL, 30 points a game, right? That's what's going to be Aaron Glenn. If there's an eject seat immediately, that defense sucks. Now it's all on him. No hiding.
That's a fair way to put it. By the way, all those tickets were now donated to NC Green. He is now up to 8 raffle tickets so far this month. So beautiful. Thank you very much, Pieper. I see we got some memberships being gifted. Our fellow Paul Texter, Polydog 65 he let the dogs out. Woo, woo, woo. Top 5 memberships or more are gifted. We play a special video. Oh, yeah, I know you love this one. Here we go. That's my head coach. That's my head coach. All right, Pop, I want to read these 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. By the way, Paul, you're up to 10 raffle tickets. Call them 10 so far this month. Thank you.
Dennis Garcia, Sox Jet, JMKIU44.
Sure.
Jam NT8XF, and Christian Rodriguez 7771.
Beautiful. By the way, people asking about the voodoo doll. Unfortunately, it's packed away right now, so I can't cast any spells. Unfortunately, the Colts voodoo doll is in a box. I'm in the middle of a move. So you're eventually going to start seeing, like, it's almost like Paul's like losing his job, and I'm talking in third person. Like, things from my background are going to start disappearing and being in box, like I'm handed a cardboard box, and then Pop's going to check his watch and go, "Hey, what's he going to say, Pop? What are you going to say?" Scrooged? Box? And never mind. Getting out, the guy, Scrooge.
Nope. I'm not kidding.
What's the guy's name from Scrooge? The employee that gets fired at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Milk is leaving early today.
See, there it is. All right, a little delayed, but nonetheless, that's all right. Don't blame Pop. I told you that I pried the torch away from him, so
your bleeding was a little slow.
Some of the things slow up. Anywho, all beautiful. Well, Pop, so Tavondre Sweat's back. I think this is great news. Let's continue to see sort of his progress. I feel a little bit better knowing that he's going to essentially have a month. It's a little less than that, but essentially have a month to get ready for the season. I feel much better now. If we waited another week or two, I don't think he would have been effective at the beginning of the season, and who knows, once you get into the season, hamstrings can linger, and that could still be the case, but the Jets seem to be very cautious here with his injury rehab. But, Pop, I wanted to make sure we gave you plenty of time, because yesterday, let me see, I've got it right here. Here's my notebook. Okay, let me pull it over here. All right, I had my winners and losers from the Jets preseason opener. Apparently, Pop, I don't know how this is possible, you've had some disagreements with the list, and you had your own winners or losers to debut here on the show. So please, Pop, drop your knowledge, drop your gospel. Please, it's like the end of PTI where we get the corrections. Please give the corrections here.
All right. So would you like me to start with my winners or losers?
Whichever shoe fits, Cinderella.
Winners or losers? You don't care? All right, no. Here we go. I'm gonna go with the winners.
Okay, I have my list in front of me, so I'm assuming it's going to be very opposite. All right.
I'm only doing no. There's only like one. There may be some similar winners. The losers is going to probably be one out of the 6. I did 3 and 3. I don't want to go too deep, and then I'm going to talk about the quarterback position. But the 3 and 3, I think there's only one that's different, one that's distinctly different. There's some that
you talked all kinds of talk yesterday, but okay,
there's a couple you don't have. There's a couple you don't.
Oh,
have.
I see. Okay, please. Okay.
And when I get to the quarterback discussion, I didn't call it winners or losers. It's a separate discussion. So, anyways,
okay, sure.
I will tell you that my biggest winner is Lou Diamond Phillips. Lou Diamond Phillips is our biggest winner.
Hey, shout out to Lou B. Yes, great. Yes, a huge winner. Does great work for the channel. Yes, couldn't agree more. Lou B.
Nope. No, moron. Lou Diamond Phillips. Anyone get the connection? I'll wait. Anyone?
Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips, the best player on the Jets. Was kind of a musical back in the day. La La Bamba. It was played by Lou Diamond Phillips. For those that don't know, La La Bamba.
Yes.
So I will tell you, I've seen a lot of people do, their cute take on Bamba, but sure. I'm coming with the details that I have not seen anyone discuss.
Wow. Okay. All right.
I've not heard anyone discuss it. So I will tell you that he took a very circuitous route to his current place on the Jets. He attended no less than 4 different colleges.
Yes.
He was a Division III Wisconsin Oshkosh, where he was a hurdler and a triple jump person. He did not play football until he matriculated to the well-known junior college, ASA College.
What does that stand for?
Yeah, it's a junior college. It's Advanced Software Analysis is the name of the college. They had 3 campuses, 2 in New York, 1 in Florida, and they now no longer exist because they lost their accreditation.
Ah,
But anyways, he played his first football there just
okay.
about 5 years ago was the first time he ever played football.
Mm-hmm.
He was at ASA University, that well-known, prestigious
Yep.
university that no longer exists. And then he transferred later to Tyler Junior College after the ASA was defunct. And then after all of that, he matriculated to BYU, where he
Sure.
played
Brigham Young.
Brigham Young University. He played in 36 games, making 7 starts in his college career, which is why the Jets were able to get him.
Which, by the way, let me explain that real quick because I assume that's not part of your story here, Pop. Is Lou B is asking, when did we sign Bamba? After the draft, the Jets announced an initial UDFA class of undrafted free agents. He was one of that 12-pack. So Lou B, he was an initial. That's the players you recruit as soon as the draft is over to join your squad. He was one of the initial 12 that they signed Lou B to announce out in the audience for people asking origin story. There you go.
Yep. So at his BYU Pro Day, so here's the upside. At his BYU Pro Day, he was clocked at 4.27 on his 40, which is the 4th fastest time ever recorded for a cornerback on the 40 as a perspective.
Really?
However,
wow.
However, there were pro scouts at the BYU Pro Day that clocked him at 4.19. 4.19. Go look it up.
Which would be, by the way, the fastest 40-yard dash of all time. Outside of whatever some people timed Bo Jackson back in the day, I suppose, at his pro day, but that was a different story. Yes.
Yeah. So the kid is lightning fast. The kid's his major drawback is he hasn't played football. You look at everybody else on the team; they've been, very seldom does this happen, right? People play Pop Warner through and by the time they get to the NFL, they played football like 12 years or more, right? Lala Bamba has been playing football, about 5 years. And I will tell you that he is maturing into it, as you can clearly see. He had 4 pass breakups. One of them prevented a touchdown.
Yes.
Right. His entire collegiate career with 36 starts, he had 9 pass breakouts.
Well, 7 starts, you said, right? Right. 36 games played, 7 starts, right?
36 games, right? That's right. Okay. And I said he had 9 pass breakups in 36 games. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. I was just trying to understand your number. Okay.
9 pass breakups in 36 games. He had 4 last week. This kid is growing into his own. I think it will be a challenge for him to make the 53-man roster. But I think if we put him on the practice squad, we will not have him. Right? He is a diamond in the rough, lightning fast, and I think he's going to I can't say that word.
Meteoric.
Rise. So you cannot let him get out, but we'll see. So he's the biggest winner.
Okay.
He'll be related to one of my biggest losers later, but
Interesting.
One of my top biggest winners.
Okay, so maybe I'll save my. Is your biggest loser another corner?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Then let me just ask you the question real quick because we're on the conversation. You said you're not sure if he's going to make the roster, and I agree. I wrote about this yesterday. I think there are 5 roster locks on the. This is my opinion. That are 5 corners of the Jets roster. They're 100% going to make it in no particular order. Brandon Stevens, D'Angelo Pons, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Nashawn Wright, and Azaria Thomas. Those 5 to me are making the team. Now, are they keeping 6? If so, my first bet would be Quantez Stiggers would be the 6th. He's a very nice special teamer and can be cornerback depth. Would you be, whether or not you agree with what I just said, if you had to choose between Quantez Stiggers or Maury Bamba, who are you picking to stay on the 53-man roster?
Yeah, that's really tough. And I think to really answer that question, I'd have to be at training camp. I'd have to be in there day in, day out. I'd have to learn even more about Bamba, right? Because what other things can he bring to the team besides being in that potential 6th cornerback position, right? Can he play the special teams? He's got normally guys that run at the speed of light are not beefy. And so what other things could he bring to the table? That's what I would need to know.
But shout out, by the way, Maury, also on special teams. He had a great special teams tackle on Friday night, too, which was spectacular. So he was getting it done on defense and special teams. So, okay, that's a winner. We had a nice little blood moon there, right? We aligned on that one. Beautiful. Go ahead. All right. Who else do we got?
Yeah. So the next two are going to be pretty easy. We'll spend some more time on other things. I really like.
These are more winners?
These are more winners. We're going to do all the winners and move over. This next person is clearly a winner, and really he's a winner because he showed that he was not impacted. He was injured last year. He tried to come back. It didn't work.
I know who you're talking about. Yep.
And he was out, but he was able to make a couple great plays, and then one of the plays concerned me. So it's Garrett Wilson, right? So he made that great catch up and over. Made the great catch up and over.
Third down, nice.
Yeah. One of his next catches, he for a moment there, he looked like a wobbly deer. Now, some of it was him almost losing his balance. Another crosser move, but I was more concerned with when you make that kind of move, did he get hurt? That was a moment. I'm like, he looked like Bambi when we first stood up. So I've seen enough. He can spend the next month doing whatever he needs to do.
Okay,
not you come back on the field. Garrett Wilson, clear winner, coming right back from the injury. He's ready to play. Right, go sit on the bench for the next few games. I don't want to see you again. So that's Garrett Wilson was one of my other winners.
Okay. Again, love that on Garrett. Yeah, it was a 21-yarder. Shout out to. I thought the throw from Cade. It's funny how some people say things. So Cade throws the ball to Garrett. And there's a lot of people saying, wow, nice job by Cade, putting it in the only spot that Garrett could get it. I'm like, I thought that was wildly inaccurate, and Garrett hauled it in because he's an acrobatic freak. But I heard how it's funny how we can all look at something and interpret it differently. My interpretation was it was I don't want to say wildly inaccurate. I don't want to over exaggerate. It was an inaccurate pass that Garrett had to, shift and contort his body to make, but he's Garrett Wilson, so he could do it. And it's a first down conversion and the chains move. But I'm not sure if, Cade put it in the only spot Garrett could get. I don't know if that's how I would have described that.
That was asinine. By the way, we'll talk more about that catch later in the quarterback.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
No, we'll talk more about that catch later in the quarterback discussion because we have like minds. So anyways, and then the last one, again, a guy coming off an injury. We saw him, the pictures at some of the mandatory mini camps, the OTAs, and one of my favorite New York Giants, a man among men, Agent Zero. I will tell you, so he's always been the bruiser. He's always been the thunder of hopefully this season's lightning and thunder. But
who's the other one on that? You didn't mention a name there.
Yeah, obviously the Jackrabbit. But anyways, it's not the turf monster. All right. Anyways, that burst, he was pulling away from people. Not that they really wanted to catch him. They were running full speed. Don't get me wrong. We'll get more to people not running full speed in a moment. But anyways, he was running. He was pulling away from them. And we're not talking about three fatties, right? There was a DB, a linebacker, and a defensive lineman, and all they got was more separation as he ran down that 31 yards. So it was great to see him. Play. He had some good runs, and so it was very positive. Another injury comeback story. And again, you can't sit them all during the rest of the preseason, but I might. But I might.
Well, specifically in that one, right? So for people who don't, so Brees is Brees. Obviously, he's healthy. You have Braylon. Isaiah Davis out for like a month. He unfortunately got hurt during the scrimmage, so he's out. And then that's probably why Kene Nwanwu had 6 carries last night, because that would have been Isaiah Davis touches, I imagine, but he's not available. They also have Chip Trainum, who's another undrafted free agent. So, yeah, the backfield's a little complicated. So I know him on ice, him on ice, him on ice. But I will just say it is awesome because Braylon went out for the season back in week 4 of last year, and it wasn't great for him, right? He fumbled in the end zone the next time he touched the ball. He had the knee injury where he's out for the season. So super happy for Braylon. Yeah, he looks awesome.
Yep. So those are my big winners.
Oh boy, here we go. All right.
Rolling on to the people that we won't call them losers. We'll say the people that maybe not as great.
Less fortunate. Okay, here we go.
And I'm gonna start at the top with Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn.
What the Aaron Glenn? Why? Okay, go ahead. Proceed.
I'm not going to talk about 2-minute drill warning, although, that's not a Rubik's Cube, by the way. Using timeouts and stuff. That's not like you have to go to MIT. By the way, I instructed at MIT a few weeks ago. But you don't have to go to MIT and matriculate at MIT to do clock management in the NFL.
Okay.
Zozo could do clock management in the NFL.
She's actually doing very well on her math and whatnot.
Yeah.
So salute to Zrailuna. Yeah. Yes.
My bright little granddaughter. So I'm not talking about Aaron Glenn about that. This is not low hanging fruit. Here's what it is.
Okay.
Geno Smith gets hurt in the team-on-team practice on Wednesday.
Yes, joint practice. Yep, apparently. Yes.
His ankle. You know what he did after whatever happened? He finished the joint practice.
Geno, yes.
The joint practice.
Yep.
So not playing Geno is I've got multiple comments about Aaron Glenn. Not playing Geno and not being forthright with the fans, right? There are other head coaches out there that says, just be up front, right? There was 9 starting quarterbacks that played in the first preseason game. And you go back and the coach is like, these fans are coming to see our team play. Our guy's going to go out there. It's not going to be all game. He's going to go out there and run a series. If Geno was not going to play, the Jets fans deserve more faith, more goodwill, more credit than any of the fans in the face of sports. And if you knew you weren't going to play him, then you should have said it on Wednesday, not an hour before kickoff. And he could have played, so he should have played. That's my first gap on Aaron Glenn.
Okay. And I am an Aaron Glenn truther, so I was about to say I don't love defending him, but that's not true. I do, because Aaron Glenn's my guy. From everything we understand about the timeline here is that it was foot/ankle soreness that occurred. So it was sore from practice, and he was fine. Geno Smith signed something after practice, so he was out and about. Aaron Glenn announced to Cade Klubnik around 1:00, according to Cade Klubnik, on Thursday, so a day later, that he was going to get the start. So it sounds like I don't think they knew on Wednesday that this, I'm sure they knew he got banged up, sore, whatever you want to call it, but it doesn't sound like they went, oh boy, he's clearly not playing this week. I think they came to that realization the next day. So I don't think this was some Aaron Glenn sly thing of keeping it under. I don't think so. And then Aaron Glenn doesn't speak again after he spoke on Wednesday. The next time he speaks is after the game. So I'm not sure on that one. That part I lightly push back against.
But I welcome you to push back against this. But I think the Jets owe the fans some stuff. By the way, small shout out to Woody Johnson for taking all the rookies' families. That is, and by the way, I don't care. You're like, well, he's got a lot of money. Well, so what? Just think about whatever that ratio is. So how many rookies are there? 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever it is.
Including the undrafted free agents. Yeah, I don't know if he flew those people.
So let's just say it's 10. We'll pick a number.
Sure. Yeah.
Their family. What does that mean? We'll just say it's mom and dad. We'll just
probably.
An airline ticket from wherever, putting them up in a hotel for a few nights. Yep. You start doing some beep boop bop, right? I'm gonna say that's $5,000. That's $50,000. And you can say he's a millionaire, but let's say you're not. That's still a percentage of his gross worth that he gave away that he didn't have to. But anyways.
Yeah, by the way, real quick on that, there's just 2 responses. So I just mentioned it in passing. I'm like, oh, well, that's super cool. And Woody didn't announce it. It randomly came out in a player interview. Cade just mentioned it, and people went, oh, that's super cool. And there was 2 responses I got to the Woody Johnson thing. I just gave a quick, hey, tip of the cap. Cool move, man. Pretty cool. 2 things were most commonly responded to me. 1, he's got a lot of money. He's a billionaire. Who cares? I'm like, okay. And then number 2 was like, doesn't every team do that? Why are we giving him praise? I'm like, not every owner flies out the parents of the rookies. That totally does not happen. So the 2 things, I'm like, come on, man. That's what you have to say. Like, for the people that hate Woody's guts, people make it seem like people that they don't like can never do good things. To me, No, I'm not going to get into a whole Woody Johnson conversation here. I don't know. To me, I feel like we can give flowers when flowers are due. That's a super cool move. Very nice. Very cool. And as some people commented yesterday, some of these rookies, this is the only time they're ever going to play in the National Football League. This is their Super Bowl. That is their moment. For Cade, he's going to be around for a long time. David Bailey, around for a long time. Some of these guys who are drafted in the first round, they're going to be here for 10, 15 years. But for some of these other ones, this is it. So I don't know. Let's just show a little love.
That's right.
Yeah, look at this from Mark Sacchetti. Did you hear the story from Boomer Esiason a couple months ago, Pop?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So he was going into the Ring of Honor, and they were going to make him pay for his flight and his hotel room or something. And he's like, what? And it just turned into a whole thing. So clearly not. Clearly not every owner in the universe pays for the thing. So anyway, just wanted to throw that up there in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so I just thought it was cool. That was not part of my spiel, but anyways, back here. So real quick, the next thing for Aaron Glenn, real quick, pulling Cade after his second series, that was a terrible decision. There's a clear opportunity to show more of the game. I'm going to say, people are going to say, well, he was taking what Gino would have done.
Do you think so?
Maybe.
Because that would have been my response only. Yeah.
Right. So but it's not Gino. It's Cade. And this is money in the bank that he may never get again.
Sure.
And get more playing time, more run time. So I think it was a huge mistake.
I agree with I wanted to see him more. Just to put that, I totally wanted to see him. People asked me. I said a half. I'd love to see him for a half. And somebody said, oh, he's going to get 3/4. I'm like, damn, really? I'm like, I don't know about that. But, and then my rationalization was like, I guess they just fed him the Gino plate. Hey, here is Gino serving, and then you two other jabronis. You figure out the rest of the game.
Yeah, they clearly thought of it like he was, air quotes, the number one quarterback, because that's how he started the game. The rest of the ones went out. So, but you have to be more intelligent than that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It was a wasted opportunity.
Okay.
All right. And then my last one is, he didn't let Gino play. Gino could have played. He didn't play. His ankle, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But how about Bamba? How about why would you put Bamba back in the game? The kid had to go into a blue tent. The kid had to go back to the locker room. The kid was put in jeopardy and injured, right? Enough that the NFL told him to come out of the game. Why would you send him back in, dumbass? No reason. This kid played well. You saw what you needed to see. There was no reason to put him back into the game. We've been doing that to players for a long time. See, Troy Aikman, Tua. There's no reason to put these guys back in the game at risk, right? And he clearly had been injured. You should have just left him out.
Who are you blaming? You're blaming Aaron Glenn for this, you're saying?
Correct. That is who I'm blaming.
Well, I would say two things here. First off, Maury Bamba's fighting for his life. He's an undrafted free agent. He wants to get back out there.
That's
if I'm
the
Aaron
problem.
Glenn, right, but if I'm Aaron Glenn, to me it's very simple. It's black and white. Medical team, is he in or out? He's out. Okay, he can't play. Next corner, he's in. He's in. Like, he can't play doctor on the sideline. Like, see the hit.
Well, so Geno Smith's value is, as a person, is higher than Bamba's.
We're talking about the middle of a game versus something that happened and then making
You're
that decision.
responsible for everybody on your team.
Yes.
I don't think you should let him back in the game.
Fair enough.
Especially when he went back to the locker room. But anyways, so those are my three things.
Okay.
All right. The next biggest loser, and it was funny because we talked about this guy yesterday. And because somebody asked you a question yesterday about Jelani Woods. Somebody asked you a question yesterday about Jelani Woods. You're like, he had a bunch of catches. And then you're like, let me look at the stat sheet. And then you're like, he was thrown to twice. He had one catch for 2 yards.
Yeah.
Well, here, as part of this, I have 3 honorable mentions. Okay. You know what that second pass was that he was thrown to? Do you know what it was?
No.
That was the first pick 6 from Zappy. That was going to Jelani Woods. And you know what Jelani Woods didn't do on that pass?
What's that?
He didn't box the guy out. He's the largest receiver on the field. And I know you're trying to look it up, but I'm right.
I'm just trying to look up the play. I'm just rewatching.
He's the largest receiver on the field. He boxes out. In the event you don't, you prevent that other guy from catching the ball because he saw where the ball was going. You're a big-ass man. You break that up. But even if you don't do either of those things, if you don't box him out and you don't tackle him so he doesn't make the interception. You know what you do? You run down the field like a man and you try to tackle him before he gets the interception return. I would just like to do a shout out to the following 3 Jets players: Tim Patrick, Malik McLean, and Max Mitchell. You know what they did? They ran as fast as they could to try and catch the guy so he didn't get a pick 6. You know what Jelani Woods did? He half-assed it down the field. And part of the interception was his fault. So a down arrow for him. No. Well, go look. Go watch.
I just rewatch the play. Bailey Zappi stared down his target and threw it right to the buck.
Yep.
I don't think there was enough time for this box out. Like this feels like Monday morning quarterback are like, hey, buddy, you could have done this for your guy. Now, this is something we agree on that people don't do enough. I'm Jelani Woods. I go, oh, shit. Bailey Zappi is about to throw a pick. I am tackling this buck. And I got OPI. I'm sorry. I'm not. He could have had no foresight for a potential pick 6. But like, as soon as you're in the moment and you're like, there is no way I'm catching this. He has an angle on me. I'm just going to shove him to the ground. I'm going to push him. Maybe the refs don't call it, but I am tackling him. That's, if we want to call an error out, that's an error. But besides that, I mean, Bailey Zappi was staring right at him.
And the effort. Right. Bailey Zappi should not have thrown it. And the effort.
He was not running full speed. Yes. Johnny was watching the replay. He was not running full speed. It seemed to be, and then there was a bunch of Bucs people in, and he just sort of gave up. And so, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. You also look, I think it was Malik McLean, who also had to fight through traffic, but busted his ass to get there. As Jelani Woods did not. That's what I'm talking about. That's why that he didn't box out, sure. But receivers don't do it enough. When there's a clear interception coming, do whatever it takes.
I agree. What do you have to lose? Right. Yeah. It's almost like the hard foul in basketball, right? You're going to get a little shit for it for like, what are you doing, man? Hey, man, I'm not letting my guy throw a pick. Like, yes.
Yeah,
more people need to do that. Yes.
That's what I'm looking for in preseason is the effort. And those other 3 Jets, that's a beautiful play by those other 3 Jets. They didn't make it, but I think it was 17. I think it was Tim Patrick.
Yeah, 17 is Tim Patrick. Yeah.
That dude flew. Like he was like way downfield, and he's the one that got him at the goal line.
The ankle. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the closest. Yeah. Anyways, all right. So Jelani Woods could do better. All right, and then the last one.
All right.
Before you get to some quarterback discussion, the last one's David Bailey.
He's a loser.
He is a loser. Yeah, he is a loser.
Do tell.
What? I'll tell you. Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
How many starting offensive linemen did the Tampa Bay Bucs play in the game against the Jets?
So the only thing I wish I could speak better to it. Mike Garafolo before the game reported that the Buccaneers were unlikely to play their starters, but he couldn't confirm it 100%. And I don't intimately know the Bucs depth chart enough to know and check who would have. So you're about to. I'm sure you looked this up and you're ready for whatever the stat is. I have no idea.
Yeah, so. 0 starters. Zero starters.
Sure.
And so if the tackles switched during the game, which I don't think they did, if they did, the starting tackles for that game, I think the one he went against had 7 years of NFL experience and 2 starts. A journeyman at best. Or if it was the other tackle, I don't know exactly which one he lined up against. The other one has never started an NFL game.
Well, neither is David Bailey, by the way.
Yeah, this guy's been in the league. The difference is he's been in the league. What I'm saying is he played against backups. Guys are going to be bagging groceries in a few weeks. He started and he got 1 assisted tackle. That's not a good sign.
He was double teamed on 50% of his pass rush reps.
And that's life. That's life for a defensive end. He had 1 assisted tackle against guys that are going to be asking you if it's paper or plastic, or can I help you to your car with your bags? And our star draft pick, our number 1 draft pick, had 1 assisted tackle. 1 assisted tackle against Walmart greeters. That's not a winner. That's not a winner.
We're talking about the preseason. Okay, right. It's a binary world, right? There's winners, losers. But there's also the guys that just didn't make the list, right? Jelani Woods, he didn't make it as a winner or a loser for me. There's many players, right? There's 91 players on the Jets roster. I didn't list every one. There's a few that fall in the middle that they weren't there. If you want to shame me for putting him as a winner on mine and you have him as a loser, maybe we're both too extreme and he belonged in the middle. Yeah. I'm willing to compromise to that level, but to call him a loser, like, come on.
For someone you had the most expectation for, he was one of the ones that showed the least. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Yeah. Am I saying he's going to be a bust for the year? I'm not saying that. I would have expected him to be present, to have more pressures, to have a sack. I would have expected that against who he was playing against. If he had the stats he had, if Todd Bowles decided to play all his starters in the second game, not the first game, that's his strategy, right? Maybe. If it was his starters, right, then I would say that makes sense. Against people they're not going to start. And by the way, the offensive line has never worked together before in an NFL game. I would think Bailey would do better. That's all I'm saying. I would expect it better.
I think there is a selflessness that's not getting highlighted here. David Bailey, you say, hey, suck it up, Buttercup. You get double teamed. Okay, you get double teamed because you're David Bailey. I assume not any random defensive end who was in David Bailey's spot would have been double teamed. They double teamed because he was the number 2 overall pick, I assume. Will McDonald got a sack. That sack is as much David Bailey's as it is Will's. If David Bailey's getting double teamed, that means Will is going to have opportunities, and that is a precursor to the season we're about to have. Will, the pressure's on you, young man. Of course, David Bailey needs to make plays as a number 2 overall pick, but if he's getting that attention, it is on you, sir, Will McDonald or Kingsley Nagbari or Joseph Asai eventually to win your one-on-one battle. That makes the sacrifices that David Bailey's making on the other side worth it. It's the same thing on offense of Garrett Wilson. If he's getting double teamed, someone else has to win the one-on-one. Is it Omar Cooper Jr.? Is it Adonai Mitchell? Is it Mason Taylor? Is it eventually Kenyon Sadiq when he comes back? So I think you're not giving enough credit to, like, Will getting that sack is Will's talented too, but it's also on David Bailey eating up pressure as well.
You give him too much credit. Okay. So
right.
All I'm saying is he should have done more, right?
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Fair enough. We'll agree to disagree. But Pop, you said you want the quarterback conversation. You didn't want to crown winners or losers. You wanted to have a separate chat. So please take us through.
No, just real quick, on Cade, right? If you go back, I'll talk about Cade first, right? Okay. If you go back to the pass we talked about with Garrett Wilson, right? That was an errant, I guess we can call it an errant throw.
Errant, yeah, because I said wildly inaccurate at first. That's way
I'm trying to be fair.
But errant is probably more appropriate.
Yeah, I'm trying to be fair. It was an errant pass. One that wasn't great. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, whatever the case.
Well, it's third down, so I don't blame him for throwing it, but yeah.
Yeah, it's right. If it wasn't for Garrett Wilson, right, he doesn't make that pass and he's 4-7. 4-7. This is not against Cade, right? This is just facts. This is not against Cade, it's facts. I'm putting reality into it. Instead of 5 for 7, he's 4 for 7, right? Mm-hmm. We give him credit for a scoring drive, the second scoring drive. You know how many passes were in the second scoring drive?
Second scoring drive. So the second scoring drive, which I believe there's 4 plays. They had it from the 48-yard line. Braylon out at a 31-yarder. So at a max, so it could have been 3, and it wasn't 3. So I don't know. I'll say 1.
Yeah, 1 pass for 5 yards.
Okay.
And then 3 runs. Yeah. So I'm not saying he led anything. He handed the ball off 3 times, and Agent Zero got it. That's just reality. It's reality.
It's baseball pitching, right? You start the game, you get the win or loss, regardless of however it happened. The pitcher has nothing to do with the hitting.
Matter. The details matter when you say you led a scoring drive. That's all I'm saying, right? I think he did fine. I think he did fine. Now let's go to Zach.
He did lead 2 in his 2 drives on the field. He led 2 scoring drives. That is correct. Even if Braylon, how about this, right? If we want to go down this road, Cade's threat of the pass changed the how they defended Braylon Allen, which opened up an opportunity for him because of Cade.
Yeah, you're an idiot. All right, real quick on Zappe. He went 6 for 10. I would tell you, if that pass Darian Smith was Garrett Wilson, he would have been 7 for 10. That would have been a catch.
Oh my God. Yeah. See, that's got to go fair. He hit it. Like, again, it was slightly behind Arian, but it hit you in the hands. There's no excuse. You got to catch that ball, Arian.
That's right. Right. It was less of an errant throw than the one we talked about for Garrett Wilson.
I just think it was more convenient, right? So Cade had a nice throw on a Garrett Wilson crosser where he just got the ball in front of him so he could catch it and continue to run. For Arian, he's running and has to like pull back somewhat to go back to try to get the ball, but it hits him smack in the head. So he should have caught it, but like it wasn't the most whatever ball for Arian. It would have behooved Arian to have the ball in front of him as opposed to behind him, but he should have caught it. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just overall on Zappe, I think, he made a bad play, right? We can argue what, again, the pass, the pick six. We can argue about should that have been a touchdown or not? Should we have had more effort? Whatever that is. But in the end, he made a bad pass. But the chasing the castle with pitchforks and torches seems a little much because the second pass likely was not entirely his fault. That's all I'm saying. So I would not get rid of Bailey Zappe. I'm not saying that I just wanted to put reality behind it, both of them. Let's not get too far down the field with Cade. We could have, if we let him play more, but we didn't. So he had a solid outing, not a superstar outing. Outing, he hits Garrett Wilson for the touchdown instead of not and getting the field goal kicked, right? Zappe, let's not crucify him for one bad decision, right?
Yeah,
so that's all I'm saying.
So that means tonight at our local bar, you're going to be there for Zappe Hour. That's what you're saying.
I'm not, and I'm not advocating for Zappe. I'm just saying if we saw value in him, his value didn't go away because of bad play. That's all.
I hear what you're saying. You're just saying if we, toast some bread, you just want the butter evenly spread on the toast. That seems like a fair analysis to have on old Zappe. By the way, there was a player that you didn't mention, Chef Kevin Gilbert. Thank you for the $5 super chat. He sure did. Let's go to it. Wow. Good morning, Boy Green and Pops. $5 super chat here. 2 more raffle tickets based on your previous super chat combinations. Curious to hear Pop's thoughts on Brees. Let's go Jets. Pop, didn't have him on your list, I noticed.
Yeah, I didn't have him on my list just because of Chef Kevin Gilbert. I have immense love for Chef Kevin Gilbert. He's a great guy.
Sure.
He's a great guy. He's a great father. He's a great member of the coffee club.
The espresso club too. Yeah.
And so I didn't bring up Brees because of Chef Kevin Gilbert. If he's going to ask, then I will provide some thoughts.
Well, you should, because if Brees Hall didn't have the turf monster, Cade Klubnik's 2 drives would have been 2 touchdown drives. Brees had the Red Sea parted for the Messiah here as he could have moonwalked into the end zone. That would have been 2 touchdown drives for old Cade. Unfortunately, the old turf monster grabbed him. Yeah.
Yeah. And the worst thing that happened to Brees Hall on Friday night was the TV showing that second angle.
Yes, right. Yeah.
They showed that second angle and huh?
Right. The first one, it looked like, maybe there was pursuit angles and he just some players just choose to go out about. Now he didn't, he stumbled, but no big deal. What's the difference? 10-yard line, 5-yard line. Oh, no. The second angle was, that was, missed stop. Yeah.
Yeah. He should have tucked and rolled, right? Fallen down on purpose, jumped back up, and then ran to the end zone.
I would have kept trying to stumble, right? If I was like, whoa, I'd keep trying to at least send my momentum toward the end zone. Maybe I'll catch my balance as I'm stumbling and then go, because there wasn't any buck defender. That would have been the other worry. If you're stumbling and you get loose with the ball, you could fumble if a guy comes and clean clocks you. I don't know if he had the awareness to be able to, be cognizant enough of that in the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, players do it all the time, right? Instead of scoring the touchdown, they go down because they know that's how the game will work best. So he could have done it. But anyways, I would say that Brees Hall, in the words of Herman Edwards or Dennis Green.
Oh, Dennis Green. Okay.
Yeah, he is who we thought he was, right? He had mediocre runs in the middle. And then when he got outside of everybody else, he has the speed that we knew. He's an outside runner. That's who he is. He had the speed. He was wide open. The only thing I'll say about that, anybody can lose their balance, although not a lot of people did except him. But a lot of people can lose their balance, and that's fine. I would have rather him just keep his mouth shut instead of tweeting stupid shit, right? That's my only thing about him. People trip, whether he was diving, whatever the case is, he's avoiding a tackle. It was great. Could he have scored? Sure, he didn't, whatever. That was what his speed, his burst, his ability that he was that wide open was caused by his ability. And I've always said that he has it. But in the end, he didn't have to tweet anything.
No, I agree. Because, like, to me, it's and he maybe he's making a joke. I just feel like he's making an excuse. I think I've played on grass and I've played on turf fields before. You can trip on grass just as much as you can trip on turf. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but thank you for the love there.
Yeah, bottom line is he was fine. He's exactly what you expect from Brees Hall. It was good to see that burst, and then he gets tripped up. It wasn't as egregious as last year, the toenail tackle or the fingernail tackle.
Yeah, that
happened. It wasn't that. He was actually in the process of avoiding a tackle, which caused him to lose his balance, and it made it more egregious when we saw the angle that the closest person to him was the popcorn guy in the fourth row. But
that's true.
Anybody can trip, so that's not on him.
Hey, Gator McCluskey asked, hey, BG, when you were in grade school, did your prop scrutinize your report card in this manner, attach reality to a few of your decent grades saying, yeah, you got a B+ here, but really you underachieved. You should have had an A. Was there that level of scrutiny happening in the report cards?
Gator, I think you're going with an incorrect assumption that there was any decent grades.
Well, see, there you go.
Do you want me to tell you should I tell the grade story?
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure, go ahead.
No, I won't tell. Your mom gets on giving me a hard time. So
no. Well, I don't know what this grade story is. I have no idea what you're talking about. In all seriousness, I'm not yankety here. I have no idea what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Well, I will cut off some of the story for brevity, but I told
brevity is a word that doesn't get enough play, by the way.
That's right. I taught to Boy Green and my children, and I said they're all very intelligent, and I said I'm going to let you make your own decision about your schoolwork when they get into high school.
Oh yes.
If you don't, if you want to, you're not going to get D's or F's, right? If you're happy with C's, you will that check will come later. And so some of my children took one path and they got the grades they got, and then in the end, So, but when they matriculated to college, I'll move away from that topic. So, Boy Green put the effort he wanted to do into school and got the grades he got. I'm not going to go any more detail than that. However, when I was paying for the grades, I told Boy Green that the only acceptable grades were now A's and B's. Now that obviously we paid for the school before with New York State taxes. Hey now, but if we were paying extra money for him to go to college and he got anything less than an A or B, I would stop paying for his college. He would immediately find a job and he would matriculate out of our household. And so, long story short, because of Boy Green had to pay the check because he had gotten mediocre grades in high school, he busted his ass, went to community college, transferred to Oswego State, a very reputable broadcasting university, and ended up, I don't remember the cool phrases, magna cum summa, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, magna cum laude.
Yeah, so he graduated magna cum laude. So he had to work extra hard because that work he did not do in high school, and he had to do that. And there was only one instance. So Boy Green got all A's and B's. Yeah. And I will tell you, I may come across as a serious person, and I am. And when I say something, I'm not fucking around. And so Boy Green signed up for an art class.
Because I have to. There was like this one, whatever you call it. There's gen eds, and then there's something else. There's some stupid thing that you have to fill. And so,
electives.
Electives. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so Boy Green, right, he's like, this is art class. So he figures he's going to half-ass it, right? This is easy. It's art class. And so he gets to the end of the semester and he comes to the realization, the epiphany, that he is going to get less than a B. He's going to get a C. And so he goes to Imamchi and he's like, Dad's going to kick me out of the house. He's going to stop paying for college. He goes, it's all over. It's all over. But as you all know, Hop on Pop is a compassionate person. I did make him sweat bullets, and I did make him pack a few boxes. But in the end, he recovered. Again, the rest of his grades were A's and B's, graduated magna cum laude, and very proud of him. So,
which, by the way, the only reason I didn't have a 4.0 GPA at community college was because of this jerk. Which, by the way, I saw this guy at like the community pool or something. I saw him in some other walk of life, and I just wanted to punch him in the gut. And then I realized I went to high school with his son. I was like, oh, you. I don't think it was me half blanking. He kept talking to me about philosophy and this, and I didn't have any idea what the hell that meant to the, like, hey, draw a chair. Okay. Paul, it sort of lacks the passion that we look for. That I'm like, what are you talking about, man? I drew a chair. This is a chair, or whatever the hell it was. So, anywho, yeah, all kinds of hoopla up there in the audience. Unbelievable. So, yes, that was my only A or B grade. And I got mostly A's in community college, and yeah, I got a big fat C. What a cup of suck that was. Anywho. Pops, I know there's some phone line action we want to go to, but I want to make sure we get the story in. So I'll do this before we go to the phone lines. So everyone knows I'm moving. I'm in the middle of a move. And so I'm packing up. I'm packing up things. I'm breaking down rooms and things. And I came across something, Pop. Okay. I want to show it here on the show. We'll see if you remember what this is. You see this? Okay, do you know what this is?
yeah, I know what that is.
Okay. So I came across, I'll tell it for audio-only listeners as well. So I'm holding up this blue scrapbook. And there's like a little place for a photo on the front. It says Oswego Buccaneers. It's got my trading card, Paul Esden, and my white, beautiful Oswego Buccaneers 2-5 jersey. And I found this, right? We're moving, we're breaking down rooms. And I knew what this was as soon as I found it, but it had gotten lost. Things get lost. And I'm going to open this book. Okay. This was made by my grandparents. Here it is. They made this scrapbook right here. There's this nice little letter at the front of this. And I'm going to read it. Football, 2008 to 2010. Paul, or PJ. We know that's all your friends. They call you Paul, but you'll always be PJ or the Jet to us. This scrapbook is a little something for you to have as a memory of your football days at Oswego. I put it together with the help of Grandma. You are a fourth generation playing football. Your great-grandfather Cowling played from 1931 to 1933 at St. Johnsbury Vocational School. Grandfather Esden, that's me. I played from 1955 to 1957 at Brattleboro High School for the Colonels, and we had a 1957 undefeated Vermont State Championship. Your father, Paul Andrew Esden Sr., played in 1984 and 1985 for Gardner, Massachusetts Wildcats, the best damn linebacker on the team. Ask me about it sometime. You, Paul A. Esden Jr., played from 2008 to 2010 for the Oswego Buccaneers, the inspirational leader. Your leading inspiration was one that will never be forgotten. I'm sure as an example that will be used in many years to come. Great job done. We love you. We're proud of you. Long live the Jet. Love, Grandpa and Grandma Esden. There you go. That's so friggin' cool, man. And by the way, that championship team, let me go to the back of the scrapbook here. Here it is. It's from I'll go full screen so you guys can see this real quick. This is the actual article of my pop's 1957 undefeated Vermont State Championship football team. There you go. And it has the newspaper article. The team celebrates golden anniversary about winning the championship and going undefeated. And there you go, man. I just came across this as we're unpacking, a little bit of both, Pop. And just to see this and the pictures, there's Homecoming 2010 with you guys in the rain at Oswego Buccaneers Stadium doing that. And people have asked me about, let me see if I have a good picture. There you go. There's Boy Green when he's in the paper. I made the front cover of the paper. Shout out to the Jet. There I am carrying the football, baby. There you go. Very nice. Then the one picture I wanted to show, let me see if I can find it in here. There you go. For an ill-fated time, I thought a mohawk was cool. Why not? There you go. And there's Boy Green. There he is right there. There it is. There's the Mohawk. There's some other pictures of my years from JV to varsity and then my final year. So all that stuff, all that. So again, it's all this to say, it just reinvigorates, reinstills everything. Why do you do a daily New York Jets talk show? There it is. Oh, Pop still got the trading card there. Let's go full screen. There you go. Nice. Paul Esden Jr., cornerback, age 17. Oh my God, 5'3". We're gonna have to check on that. What what happened there on the height?
They gave you a few inches.
Yeah, there you go. It just goes to show, like, to me, like, why do you love football so much that you do a daily talk show about it? You are a product of your environment. You played football, obviously, as we just did for the Wildcats in there. You played football, and then you know, the just like I was around it every day and finding this just like, man, I found it like last night, like 1 a.m. or something, as we were packing and doing stuff when I got back from the radio station. I just looked at him like, damn, man, that's so cool. Like, this is what it's all about. And shout out to Grandpa, unfortunately, no longer with us. But this is going to get a prominent placement in the new office. And I want to read that as many times as possible and for it all to come together. So, yes. And C. Taylor Sterling says, I hate to admit it, but I had the Mohawk. Yeah, it was a football thing. They all said it was a thing to do. So that's why I had the Mohawk. But
I'll have to find the picture. I have Boy Green in the Carrier Dome.
Yes.
The Carrier Dome with a much more clear look of what the Mohawk looks like. I'll have to see if I find it somewhere.
Yeah, it's probably somewhere on Facebook. We played New Hartford. We got to play in the Carrier Dome, which is where Syracuse football plays, and they do this classic where they bring all these high school football teams together, and you get to play these games. And I still remember it. Jocko was one of the players on the varsity football team. He had like a 50-yard touchdown run. We lost 36-6. Why I remember that score, I don't know. The only touchdown in the game was Jocko. Ryan Jock ran like a 60-yard touchdown, and he broke through the line and just took it to the house. He wore jersey number 11 for the Oswego Buccaneers. Again, why I remember these random information that I don't know, but what a special gift and a special letter that man just hit me last night. And so, like, I know we always talk Jets here on the show or what have you, but it was just cool to see that last night. I said, oh man, it somehow got lost in the sauce with moving and this and that. It was in a box of other relics of importance from my life, and it's just cool. So shout out to Grandpa, Pops. Shout out to Grandpa. I see we have another super chat before we open up the phone lines to finish off the show. We have the Haitian Scout, aka Truman Dumel, with the super chat. Wow. How much should we take preseason seriously, and how are Sadiq and Stiggers doing? So Kenyon Sadiq is working on a side field, so it seems like he's progressing nicely. He was running I don't want to say full speed. They said 3/4 speed from the side field that he was participating on. They didn't place him on any list. That to me is a positive sign. No PUP, no nothing. So he's just hurt and he's just working out. So hopefully that's a good news that it's not a long-term thing. So Kenyon Sadiq still not fully back yet. And Quantas Stiggers, I was at the practice, unfortunately, that he collapsed on the sideline. Very scary moment. Apparently it was concussion symptoms and heat exhaustion together, the combination, the confluence of those two things. And he was taken to a local hospital. He's back at home healing. And I saw him tweeting from the game on Friday Night, Pop, going, Bamba, Maury effing Bamba. And I was like, man, that's so cool. So healthy and healthy-ish in terms of, getting healthy, and he's back home. So hopefully he's doing okay. But thank you for the $10 super chat, Truman. So again, Kenyon Sadiq, he's coming back. He's going to be back somewhere in the next 2 weeks or so. But my only fear is like, okay, he may be available for week 1, but how available is he going to be? How much of the playbook is he going to be able to be utilized in week 1 with such little practice time? Missed critical reps in the spring, and now he's missing critical reps in the summer. Could miss the entire preseason. So I think it might be a slow ramp up to get him seriously involved in the offense. So that's a TBD, but Quantas is doing healthy. I don't know if you want to comment on either of these guys, Bob.
Yeah, no, I hopefully Sadiq comes back and produces, and definitely hope Stiggers comes back, and it's not he earns what he deserves, and hopefully it's a roster spot.
Yep. Hopefully he reaps what he sows. One of the sayings. All right, Pop, we could get to the phone lines for the last couple of minutes to finish off the show if that revs your engine.
I think we have one other thing to talk about before we go there.
Obviously. Whoops. Yes, I've been jumping all over the place here. Yes, absolutely. Let's pull that up here on the program. You're absolutely right. My apologies. Oh, I realize what happened now. What threw off my everything. Yeah, for folks to bring you behind the wall real quick, and then we'll get to the thing at hand. I've been up since like 5:30 in the morning, and I was just doing work. I wrote a story about Malachi Moore. I put up a YouTube short about it. And then, like, right before we got on with Pops here to do a pre-production meeting, I was getting glitchy. I'm like, son of a, all right, let me restart the computer. Is that any better? Son of a, all right, let me reset the Wi-Fi. So I came in at 6:59:59 when I was back on here. So my normal setting up is terrible today. So I apologize. So Pop, of course, let's promote the 50/50 Wounded Warrior Project here. Folks, if you're just tuning into the show, we've been doing this. We did this last year, and now we're back doing it again this year. Hop on Pop Wounded Warrior 50/50 raffle. We're raising money for charity, Wounded Warrior Project, as Pop has said countless times. We don't get to do this show. You guys don't get to have the freedoms in your life to do whatever the hell you want to do. Go to the movies, watch a football game, go to a baseball game, hang out with your family, anything without the sacrifices of our men and women in the armed forces. And too often, it just is the nature of the beast here that our men and women that are here in the States that get sent off to go defend our country, they don't always come back the same way they left. And that's what the Wounded Warrior Project is all about, for that very critical support for our men and women. And so it's obviously a cause close to both of me and my father's hearts. He spent 20 years in the United States Navy. My brother was in the Marines, who you guys got to meet, by the way, on the Espresso Club last time out. That was cool to hang out with Nick for an hour. And so, thank you to both of their service. And we want to raise money for charity. And Pop's about to give a very nice update here. But if you guys want to get involved, you can send donations to my Pop. His handle on Venmo and PayPal is the same. It's at HopOnPop22. HOPONPOP22. And I want to give a special shout out to Mahar Khalil. He bought the ticket to sit next to you, Pop. So he'd already purchased tickets to go to the game, but he, donated extra money to the charity so he could sit next to you. So thank you, Mahar Khalil, very much for doing that. That is outstanding. And Pop, so give us an update and then also explain perhaps how it all works here, that the biggest contributors have a chance at some pretty fun prizes, and anyone that donates at least $1 and then as much after that as you want, you're in the running to win 50% of the prize pot, which could be a lot of cash.
Yeah, I just want to give a little quick background, right? So this is not have anything to do with politics. If you want to talk politics, hit me up sometime. But this is not about politics. Through the history of the United States, the 250-year history of the United States, our armed forces go where they're directed to go.
Yes.
And in some cases, people disagree. And I would say almost every case, people disagree, right? There are people in the name of war we were in, they were like, we shouldn't be there, right? And it's not about that. So you can disagree politically with whatever you want. These people in the armed forces wrote a blank check for their life to protect us, right? I will just tell you, this is not, right? I spent 20 years in the Navy. 4.5 years of my life I spent without sunlight, fresh food. This is not a wah. It's just a fact. On a submarine, underwater. And I had it easy compared, right? Boy Green, 4.5 years. When he was growing up, I was under the water. No communication, nothing. That's what I signed up for. I'm not complaining. But again, that's easy to compare to the 50,000 troops that are deployed in the desert, right? Without fresh food, air conditioning. But we're not even talking about them. We're talking about the ones that went over there, put their lives on the line, and came back not fully whole. That is what this is about. This is what Wounded Warriors are about. It's about paying back those who offered themselves as to keep us free. So let's not confuse it with politics. right?
Yeah, let's not conflate things. I think that's really the key here is like, don't do it because of some political stuff. These are soldiers in the army. They do as they're told. They're, so the men and women, these are the people that are sacrificing. This is what the money is going to for the Wounded Warrior Project. It's for the people.
That's right. And so, just with that being said, so if you have $1, we'll take $1. If you have $2, we'll take $2. There's about, 8,000 plus subscribers. Everyone gave $1. We crushed last year's total.
Right.
Currently, we have raised, overall total is $2,746. About $1,700 will currently go to the Wounded Warrior Project, with about $1,000 going to the winner of the 50-50 raffle. That's where we're at right now. So we are going to take money up to 11 a.m. on the day of the tailgate. You can send the money to at Hop on Pop 22, Venmo, or PayPal. If you don't have that, Boy Green's taking it through Zelle as well. So again, it's just giving back to those that sacrifice to us to keep us free. So I appreciate any support anybody gives, and thank you to all those that have already given and contributed.
Speaking of that, Pop, we just received $20, which I'll be forwarding over to you here after the show when I'm able to press a few buttons. Let's give a shout out to Phil for sending in $20. Philium, thank you very much. That is beautiful. Let's go. Thank you to Philium. He is up to $120 donated so far in totality. Thank you, Philium. I received that. I'll be selling that over to my father. So, yes, if you guys in the audience, I know a bunch of people don't. I actually just ran into something where someone said, I don't have Venmo or PayPal. Zelle is an option. That is Zelle. If you do want to Zelle it to me, I can serve as a middleman of sorts to deliver that to Pop. Obviously, me and Pop have each other's information, so I could get him any money that you get to me. In a perfect world, you get it directly to Pop, and that's where it goes. But if you can't, no worries. I'm here. I'm available. It is my email, paulasdenjr@gmail.com. Philium just did it. You guys can do it also in the audience if you do want to donate to the cause. Again, there's my email, paulasdenjr@gmail.com. That's my Zelle, PAULA, the letter ESDENJR@gmail.com. As Pop said, we raised over $2,000, and we, being the entire community, raised over $2,000 for charity last year. We would love to do that again. So again, you guys can tell me. Thank you to Philium. He just sent in $20, Pop. So let's add that to the total, which is terrific. And again, another cool thing here, Pop, is that whoever wins the money, it's going to be random. You are collecting money all the way through Sunday, October 11th. Whether, all the way from $1 to $1,000, no matter what someone gifts, they're in the running. The more you donate, obviously, the bigger chance you have of winning the prize pot. But it is random. Someone that gifted $1 potentially could win. But you wanted to make sure, Pop, and I think this is really cool, that the top 3 donors, the people that donate the most money to this, just because you donate the most doesn't mean you win. But you will win in this case in terms of a special prize pack for these top 3 winners as a thank you for sort of leading the charge here for our Wounded Warrior 50-50 raffle. Can you talk more about that, Pop?
Absolutely. So the top 3 winners, last year we kind of did something on the fly. This year I wanted to be more focused and give back to the top 3. So the top 3 the top 3 contributors in Wounded Warrior Project, the top contributor will get a John Riggins autographed helmet. He will get a Hop on Pop, which is obviously worth more, autographed salute to service hat, and an autographed Bob Lederer book, Beyond Broadway Joe. So that'd be to the top contributor. We'll get that.
Yeah.
The second contributor will get a special challenge coin rack, and some very special challenge coins, perhaps a Boy Green, perhaps a Hop on Pop original, to start you off on your coin rack collection, as well as the Bob Lederer book, and as well as the Hop on Pop autographed hat.
Yeah, that's awesome, Pop. So I just sent you over Philium's money, and apparently Monkey Business, aka Cam, just sent you over some money on Venmo. Let's frickin' go, baby! Add it to the board. Add it to the board, Pop. Terrific.
Thank you. And I see some others came in. Thank you so much for it. I appreciate it. We'll update this tote board. I appreciate all of you. And let's go.
Let's go, baby. That is amazing. Again, we'll be collecting this through Sunday, October 11th. That's a Jets-Browns game for a tailgate. Thank you, by the way, to a bunch of people that have bought tickets. We have 22 tailgate tickets left, and it's almost 21 because someone is, flirting with it. I'm helping out somebody. So we have like 21 tailgate tickets left, and then they're sold out, baby. Once they're sold out, they're gone. So Jets-Browns. We'll also have the restaurant takeover the night before Saturday, October 10th. All right, Pop. Well, I want to thank you. I know our time has come to its end, so I will take some phone calls here. But Pop, I want to thank you so much. This is awesome. We got to share some winners and losers. We got to share an amazing grandpa story, which is terrific. I'm glad that I have this in my possession once again, and it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't like to run for anybody, so I can stay on a few minutes if people want to give me some feedback about my calls, or I'd be happy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, if you have the time, sure. All right, people. We'll open up the phone lines. Pop is hitting overtime. All right, here we go. So I guess this won't be necessary for Pop this time, huh?
Your time is up. Gotta let your ass go. Thanks for calling in. The Boy Green Show.
Not necessary. Pop, you are here, baby. So let's do it. Let's play a quick. We will welcome your phone calls. We have 300 people watching the show this morning, including 112 of those on YouTube. Pop, what can these people do to support the show?
Take that like button to Pound Town.
Come on now, let's go. Let's get this show in front of other Jet fans. I saw we got a surge of subscribers during the live watch party on Friday. Thank you. We'll be doing those for the other 2 preseason games. Like the video, that is free to do, folks. So if you haven't already, please make sure you like the video here on YouTube. You probably hear that all the time from these YouTube content creators, but it does make a tremendous difference. It only takes a second. We have 54 likes, but over 100 people in the room. You guys can change that immediately if you're watching live. Also, shout out to the people that watch the show after the fact as well. We appreciate you guys. We'll play a halftime out. Your phone calls next, reacting to Pop's list. Oh boy, this could get ugly.
1, 2, 3.
Whoa!
Welcome back to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for joining us. It's myself, Paul Esden Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm here with Pop, or Hey Now. And you know what? There's some superheroes out in the universe, Pop. You turn on the light for Batman. He's like, oh, boy, I'm being called into action here. And I don't know how this guy continues to do it, but let's bring him in. Our first caller is Lou B, Super Jets fan, because as soon as this question was asked by Monkey Business, he says, what spot's the tailgate? Where's the tailgate going to be? All of a sudden, Lou B has emerged from the darkness. His cape is on. It's flowing in the wind because, Lou B, we have an announcement to make here on the show, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, everyone. The tailgate is going to be in G1.
G1, baby.
E1. So you'll see that is the path that walks right into MetLife. So there's a sidewalk and there's G1 right there. You don't have to park in G1. Park anywhere you want and just walk over to G1 because that's the gate to enter MetLife anyway. So that's where we're going to go. Me and Chef Kev at 9 o'clock in the morning on Friday, we're scouting everything out. We did a little tour. We both like that spot. Me and Chef have done an event there for somebody else a long time ago. So we love that spot, and then we think everyone will also.
So yes, and I will tell you guys when we get closer, we'll try to rally a few of us. We have 72 currently going to the tailgate, so thank you very much. We're going to rally 10, 15 of us and then sort of block off our headquarters here.
That's
We're all
right.
going to sort of park every other spot or something, sort of lock in the area for everybody. But yes, G1, baby. You guys have been asking, and Lou B delivers as he always does. G1. Okay. No, and let me just make sure this is clear, Lou B. There's no crater, there's no big hole where G1 is. That is in fact landing parking. That is a place.
No, no. Me and Chef actually looked at the crater that you had the tailgate in last time. So we were there the other day. We were making fun of it that he picked the one spot in 100 acres that has a big fucking pothole. And it was just, yeah. So I had a great day of preseason. Pop, I wanted to ask you a question because you do have a lot of knowledge, Pop. So these guys, they practice on grass all the time. Then they get into a field where if you run too fast, the ground comes up underneath you. The faster the player is on our team, the faster the ground. Like at the game, I was watching like dirt go. It looked like a dirt bike going through the dunes. So it's pretty scary, I have to say. It's, I understand they're not going to change over to grass, but whatever turf they have is, I would say, the cheaper one, because the faster you go, the quicker it takes you down. Do you think that a guy like Bailey, who has the fastest, people are talking about his first step of not even existing, that's how fast it is. So is this turf going to work against him?
Yeah, I've walked on that type of turf. I've never played on that type of turf. That turf didn't exist back in the day. But I believe it will slow down that step. Now the offensive lineman that he's playing against, it slows him down. But his time is probably clocked with a hourglass, but not like Bailey with a laser stopwatch. So I do think there'll be some when he's playing on the turf that will take away not only the first step, but the second step, right? You make that first step, and then you get the shooting of the gun is that second step, in my opinion. So
what a scary thing to think about, though. What a scary thing to think about, that we have a guy that his step is so fast that it can't work on his home field. Because
home field advantage. This is home field disadvantage.
It's insane. Right, I saw the dirt came up from Braylon when he spit out. I mean, it looked like a dirt bike was in full. Right, it was like, and then Brees falling, and then hearing Brees even had to tweet about it. So when he's not happy about something, we all know that Brees tweets about something, right? But I made a promise to Chef Kevin Gilbert. We were in mid game, and he made me promise to admit I do love Brees, because he is a Jet. He signed with the Jets. So I do pledge my allegiance to Brees and hope he has a good game. I just had to get that out. Yes. Well, and he signed my jersey the other day, which I appreciated. Someone got me a jersey, so got it signed by Brees. And but there it is, Chef. I don't need to hear this anymore. It was Brees in my face. I'm like, he's on the same team, Chef. I get it. I love Brees too. He's like, well, then say it on the damn show. I was like, okay, to handle it. But I am not going to shy away that Jeremiah Love is going to be dominant in this fucking NFL season. The talks have already begun about Jeremiah Love. That's all I need to say. Maybe he was too fast for MetLife turf. Is why we didn't draft him. Now
we couldn't take full advantage of him, so we let him. If you really love someone, you'll let them go.
Let them go. If you have not watched the highlight reel from that Arizona game, you need to take
the preseason opener with Love. Yeah.
That
I saw a reel and I just turned away.
Yeah.
Scary, man. It's scary. He's going to be something again, and I'm going to remind everyone of his stats every week. So get used to it, and if I don't do it, but man, right there, it's going to take care.
That's true.
Take care of that, right? But Pop, thank you for your service. Number one, it's amazing hearing your story about how long you served and how hard you were on BG, and I think that sort of all worked out. You raised a good guy, right? So although a shit driver, we won't even get into that. But the other thing I wanted to say is Bamba, right? So we're looking at
Yeah.
this thing in front of us, and I'm like, look at this name, Bamba. It looks so, just looks different, right? The name, him being a good player, can make this guy such a quick star in this city. We need like a hero, and if it comes from Bamba, incredible. I think they should leave him in like the whole preseason. Like
Why not?
let him shine. Let's see who he really is, and let's see if he deserves to be with in that starter rotation. You see, he is a ball hawk though. He was just like ripping that shit out, and I'm shocked that Pop is saying that he's only played for such a little time because he looks like he knows the game. I mean, he's doing stuff that we begged our players to do last year. Go rip the effing ball out,
Yeah.
right?
Grab in
And
the end zone. Yeah.
like that's what we need. That's what we need. And Jamal Pritchett is another one with a heart of a lion. I just want to say that guy gives 100%. He absolutely is going to jump in Arian Smith's grave. There's no doubt. I do not believe Arian makes this team. I do not believe Zappy makes this team. I do not believe Cook makes this team. I think they have to bring in a veteran right now, especially if Gino's foot is swollen.
Right.
Whatever it is, they need to bring a veteran right now and get rid of these guys because these guys cannot play in the NFL. They're nice guys. We can't have them quarterback for us at any time. Period.
So I just need clarity on this. 1 second. I don't often go to a prop here. Let me just grab this Jets football right here.
I was with you when he got it signed, PG. I was with.
Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, this is Arian Smith.
Sad.
It's Aaron Smith and Lou B. I'll bring this up. We've talked about this before. When we met Arian, before he signed this football, he noticed, I assume, a diamond encrusted watch on your wrist. He said, "Hoo. I want one of those." And you gave him a promise, Lou B. I was there. You said, "Hey, you win a Super Bowl, I'll get you one of these watches." Sounds like if he's winning a Super Bowl, might be with the Jets.
That promise is on the Jets.
By the way,
transfer to Seattle. That does not exist. That promise.
That's prime real estate that you gave Arian Smith on that ball. With seeing all the videos you getting stuff signed, you should have let him sign the bottom of your shoe.
Oh. That's not nice.
He was a nice guy too, and it's funny. He told us that he was catching bombs in practice, and me and BJ like, where? And then the other day at practice, he did, and I was so happy for him, right? And then he starts dropping the balls again. I mean, that's it, man. That's it. It's too risky. We can lose a game with him. He's a great guy. He really is a really cool guy. I'm sad, but I think Jamal Pritchett should take his spot immediately. That guy fought last year. He got cut. They got him back. Let's go. Keep him. I love Jamal Pritchett. I really do. And Bamba, let's go. We need a hero. And I do agree. Kelly did not have a good game the other day. I think that he needed to better game. And we needed more from him. There was a lot of pressure, and I think Will McDonald's about to have a really good season because these two guys like terrorists. You put them in the game. You could see them wreaking havoc, though. Right? The place they were like moving back there and quarterbacks are scrambling. So I think we're going to do really good with that. But he needed to do better. He's going to get double teamed. Welcome to the NFL. That's what's you're going to get double teamed by guys that are really strong. So we're here now, but I think he's up to it. And practicing against Membo is just making him the best. We have the best tackle in the league right now. So.
Well, thank you for seeing the bad signal up there about the seating. Where are we going to be sitting?
G1. I made a video. I gave it to you, BG, so when it gets closer, so we'll
share it out. Yeah.
Oh, I try to explain where you can park, but right there, just go to the G's and you'll see that big concrete path that goes right into MetLife Stadium. We'll be on the concrete path. It's really cool. All great people walk through that path. You'll see all the super fans take that path in all the time. It's actually met Mikey Holcans on that path. He was like,
"That's so cool." And we're closer than ever now than where we were before, so that's great too.
Yeah, one last thing. Me and Chef and Nick Shine got to spend some time with Woody Friday morning.
Good Morning America. Good Lord.
Yeah, we did the chant with him, but we got to speak to him on the side, and he is 100% all about the GM. He was saying that he's the general of our team. He was like, the GM, it's general manager, but he's a general. Ooh. And he just kept on going on and on about him. He really does he said that he's managing a lot of things, like a ton of things, that more than what a GM usually does is basically what he said. Chef was there. He heard more of it, but he likes Gino. He didn't know that Gino wasn't playing that game because he said, "I'm so excited to see Gino tonight."
Oof.
Right. So he did not know that Gino. So that was something late that popped in. Just a little observation. And another last thing that he said that was really interesting, the fighting at practice, he does not like it. And he said, we don't have guys that fight, and if they break their hand, they can't play. They're useless to us at that point. So he was real key on no fights. He does not want people to fight. He went on and on about that. Me and Chef were like looking at him, like listening to Woody vent to us about he doesn't want fights. I'm like, thanks for taking the time, Woody, to tell us that. But no fighting in practice. He doesn't want anyone to break a hand. And obviously he remembers what happened with Gino, right? So
right.
That was my 3 key Woody observations. And one last thing, another thing, F. Kevin, who has always been pretty, he was not the fan favorite of Woody. I think Woody made a spot in Chef Kevin's heart the other day. Woody's always nice to me. That's why I can't not like the guy. I know the history and all that stuff, but he was nice, really nice to Chef Kevin. And Chef Kevin walked out and he's like, man, I like Woody. I like Woody. I said, well, if I admitted the Bree shit, you're gonna admit the Woody shit.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that on Wednesday. Chef,
Wednesday, don't worry. He's gonna admit it. I made a promise. I just donated to you and the 50-50. So God bless. Thank you for your service. Every time I see a serviceman, and Chef does the same thing. We say every time, thank you for your service. When you see a serviceman, you have to thank them for their service. You might not get a chance to thank them because they could die fighting for this country. They die for our freedom, period. They lose limbs. We gave not we, but we did the Tunnel for Towers salute on Friday morning. And Woody bought a smart home for a vet, a guy with no leg. All this different stuff was a fireman, troop, went back to Iraq, and boom, the guy, and they gave him a home. Woody bought him a home. That was really nice. So, and Woody went back up to him and he said, are you getting everything you need? And he said, I'm not. And Woody said, we'll make a call. We'll make sure you get everything you need. So on the good front to people, you can't hate on Woody for stuff like that. I think he does try to do the right thing with a lot of stuff, and that's I just got to make it public that I seen what I've seen. You guys have a great day. Kick me out now. I took a little too much time.
Oh yeah,
so throw me out, easy. Throw me out.
Easy, do it. You have to.
Your time is up. Gotta let your ass go. Thanks for calling in the Boy Green Show.
Oh man, a lot of powerful stuff there from Lou B. Pop. That was very nice.
Yeah, it was great. And again, thank you for your contribution.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, to the Wounded Warrior Project. Thank you, Lou B. That's very moving. Again, G1. We'll have more information on that when we get much closer to the tailgate. Let's get one last call in, Pop. It's time to hop on the Lane train. Lane? You're on mute right now, Lane.
Do you hear me?
Loud and clear. Over.
Oh, hi. Hey now. Hello, Paul Boy Green.
Yeah, that's my old man. That's my Pop. That's Pop Cedar. He'd prefer. Yeah, that's one of his many nicknames.
Yeah.
Hey now.
So, what a good game the other night.
Yeah.
Against Tampa. Yeah. It was decent. The weird thing is, like, I was trying to put the sound up on my TV and it wouldn't work.
No, man.
Well, that is weird.
So I had to
Is it? We used to have one of those TVs in the house where you had to go up to the TV, go boop 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 boop. We didn't have a remote.
Oh yeah, those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you had to you didn't have a clicker. You would have to press it by hand.
Yeah, you'd have to play rock paper scissors or something to get up and go press the button.
Yeah.
Side of the TV.
Yeah, the old TV back in the day.
Yeah,
way back with the antennas and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna talk about the next against Pittsburgh. I mean, you have a lot of players on Pittsburgh and the Jets. So I mean, it's gonna be a hard game for them to win. I mean, so I have some more questions. So, how do you feel about next week? Do you think that they'll win to make it 2-0 or just not?
Well, the Jets lost, unfortunately, so they're 0-1. They ended ended up losing to the Bucks.
Yeah,
24-15.
they should have had that.
Yeah, they should have. That's for sure. I think the important thing will be the starters. Does AG run back up the starters? Because normally in this new age of the 3 games, you don't play the starters in the final one. Now, I don't know if he's going to change that because Gino didn't play in the first one, but I fully expect the starters to play against the Pittsburgh Steelers Friday night. Aaron Rodgers homecoming.
You
Isn't
put
that
Aaron
beautiful?
Rodgers? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because like you also have to either put somebody to start the third, first or first half, because you cannot keep putting in the same person.
Right.
I'm pretty sure because that's like I mean, I don't know why the rules are like that, but it's just I think it's the NFL rules that you have to just like I've been hearing that they might want to get a real grass because the turf and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's the expense.
It's
I don't know if
falling.
they're ever going to do it. They have concerts. They have 2 teams that play there every other Sunday. So I don't think we're ever getting the grass, to be honest.
But they won't be
You don't
falling
think so
down though.
either, right?
Yeah, but I mean it's better than them slipping all over.
No,
With the
that's
grass,
true. Yeah, maybe they'll make the decision for the players. I don't know. Maybe.
And then so anyway, no, I mean, how do you feel about the Jets now?
Yeah, how do you feel about the Jets right now, Pop?
I think that I said it before. My preseason prediction, I have them at about 7 wins. And I also said there's a plus or minus there based on solely on the defense, in my opinion.
The practice game that was good actually on Friday.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do more of it, Lane Train. We'll see if they can do more of it. You're the best, baby.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
There he is, Lane Train, joining us here on the program. That was the funniest part of the Lou B call, by the way, Pop, was apparently fealty to Brees Hall from Chef Kevin Gilbert. By the way, a member for 23 months. He's nearly celebrating 2 years as a member of this channel.
Wow.
BG, you ruined that football. The Arian Smith signature, apparently. Lou B, man of his word. So fealty has been sworn. The knee has been bent in House of Dragon style. There's been fealty sworn to the Hall of Brees. The Hall of Brees. Beautiful. That's great. That's great. Beautiful. All right, Pop. Well, thank you to Chef Kevin Gilbert. Thank you to Lou B joining the Brees Hall Army. Do you want to do the same thing, Pop? Do you want to swear fealty? Do you want to go down to a knee for old Brees Hall there? Huh?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I said what I said. I think he can bring a lot to the team, and he showed what he could bring in the preseason game. 100%.
There you go. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and joining us here on the show. Pop went well past his time, but thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Over 300 people in the room across our social media platforms, including over 100 right now on YouTube. Guys, like the video on the way out, please. I'd appreciate it. We also do live play-by-play for all the preseason games, so check out that live on Friday night. We had 2,000 or 3,000 views on the last one, so thank you, everybody that tuned in. Great numbers, especially for the first preseason game. That's terrific. Awesome. And thank you all the people that gifted so far on the show from Monkey Business Cam, welcoming back to the club. That's so cool. Great to reconnect. Austrian Jets fan, MFC. We have Pieper, Lutmer, giving those tickets to NC Green, Paul Taxter, Chef Kevin Gilbert, Truman Dumel, and that was awesome. So, Pop, great show.
Yep. Thanks, everyone. We raised another $200 for the Wounded Warrior Project today's show. So I really appreciate all the contributions, and thank you so much.
So I don't know if you have the math here, Pop. How close are we to breaking last year's record? We raised over 2,000. How close are we to ensuring that?
Yeah, we're about $450. Away.
We still got like 2 months. It's less than 2 months, but 2 months-ish. Okay, we got time to push that. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're far exceeding last year on pace to shatter that. So that's great. And again, it's all for a great cause. Not a nickel goes to either Boy Green or myself. It goes to the 50-50 raffle winner, and then that day it'll go to the Wounded Warrior Project, a direct contribution.
Yeah, and I just want to say that I started again. I keep saying that my 6-year anniversary is coming up as we're about to finish the show here. I started it over there on that couch talking Jets. And sure, we do talk Jets every day. Obviously, that just happened here on the show. But the fact that this show can have that kind of impact to me is more meaningful than any of the Jets talk. That we had a chance to raise $2,000 for charity with this awesome community. We're on pace to shatter that record this year. Awesome. Let's keep doing all kinds of great things for the community, Pop. And in the middle of that, they say what you put into the universe, you get back tenfold. We put that in the universe. I'm ready for the Jets to win a Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for a fresh episode of Boy Green Daily, 7 a.m. Eastern Time. Like the video, hit subscribe. Also, shout out to the audio-only listeners of the show. Rate and review the podcast. We'll see you next time.